Welcome to Nobody's Off Limits, where women are seen and heard. It's your girl Lala E. And on this podcast, we discuss topics like dating, relationships, and day-to-day life issues. Before we begin, I would like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Peggy Locks. If you are looking for crochet passion twists, butterfly locks, she has the most reasonable prices in West Palm Beach. You can message her on Facebook at Sean Collins, SHON, and her last name is COLLINS. So I have a very special guest. He is the co-host on multiple podcasts and Florida Man Mysteries podcast. He's also a comedian. CEEJ, welcome.
What's up, Lala? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. You look so good with your sunglasses. I gotta put my hood up.
Yeah, put it on. Put it
I gotta
on.
be
This
cool
is
like
my
you.
little signature thing, the shade. Yeah, like now it's a vibe for
There
real.
you go.
So today's topic, we are going to be talking about inflation in Florida. So how you feel about the inflation in Florida?
First off, I want to say that I'm very happy to be on this women-centric podcast as a man, and
Yes.
that we talk about love and relationships. And the first question is about inflation.
Yes.
I love you, Lala.
I love you too, and thank you. And you know what? Before we begin, thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Because you know what, I don't want you guys to think that this is only for women. Okay,
No.
This is for everybody.
Lala is for everyone.
I'm for
Anybody who doubts, take it from me, all right? Your friend CEEJ. I got this. She got this. This is the real stuff right here.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about inflation in Florida. I'm tired. Listen. Listen. Inflation is crazy. And let's begin. Let's talk about these gas prices.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here. I'm playing with all the apps. Like, I've got all the apps for all the different gas stations, and they'll tell you like where the cheap one is or whatever, and they'll give you like little bonus discounts off on them. And right now I'm sitting here, I got like an extra 25 cents off at Shell, and I'm looking around for a Shell just because it's like I want that little deal right there. I can't find anything below like almost $4.
So my car takes E85.
Ooh.
It's a cheaper gas.
Yeah.
So thank God that my car takes that. My boyfriend didn't even know that his car took it.
Oh.
So he been paying like $3 for gas this whole time when we could go like a little bit down south. They have a gas station and the gas is like $2.99. But other than that, gas. I went to a gas station yesterday on Palm Beach Gardens North Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Shells. It was $4.79 for regular gas. That is wild to me.
That's insane.
Do you remember when gas was like $1.93?
Man, I remember when gas was cheaper than that. I'm an older gentleman. I am in my early 40s. Let's just say I'm 40. And yeah, I remember filling up my car just after high school, and like there was years where occasionally it would get below $1. It would be like 93 cents a gallon to fill it up, and it's just like, are you insane? This is amazing. I'm gonna live the rest of my life like it was $12 to fill up like an '89 Civic hatchback.
It's just like at this point, y'all want us to pay for insurance on the car. Y'all want us to pay for the car.
Yeah.
Y'all want us to pay to have a tag on the car. And then on top of that, y'all want us to pay for these high gas prices. And literally, like, if you got a big car, a big truck, that's like $100
Oh, yeah.
right there. Like, keep it. I don't want it at this point.
Yeah, when I first thought I was like living large, I got myself like the Dodge Magnum RT with the Hemi engine, big old sucker. You know, I mean, it was a damn nice car, but it was also like 11 miles to the gallon and a 25-gallon tank.
Wow.
And when those prices started, and when I first got it, gas was like $2 a gallon. And by the time when I sold it, we were like right in the middle of that summer where it was like $4.50 a gallon. I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't keep paying. And the pumps would cut off at like $100, and my tank wouldn't even be full yet. It's like,
my mother decides to go get. Listen, see, my mom decides to go get a Dodge Hemi, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? It only took diesel gas.
Oh, so she got a truck.
Yes, I'm like, girl. Mind you, thank God that the car put us down before the pandemic. She's like, oh, I want to get my car fixed. I'm like, who's putting the gas in it? Who's putting the gas in it? We drove a Ford Expedition 2022 because we went to Atlanta. We drove it up there. Mind you, this was during the pandemic. Okay, well, after the pandemic, a little bit after the pandemic, we went to Atlanta. Mind you, it was a June. It was a summertime,
Oh
hot
my
as
God.
hell. Gas prices
Running
was
the
high.
AC.
Listen, we paid $150 to fill the car up. I said never again.
No.
Never again. At
No.
that time, we had rentals because I had gotten in a car accident. So we were just getting rentals.
Mhm.
I was like, as soon as we touch back down in Palm Beach, we want to take this car back. Because,
Yeah.
baby, who's putting gas in it?
No.
Who's
No.
putting gas in it? What do you think? What do you think is the cause of all the prices that's so high, like gas prices being so high?
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, right now it's greed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally these corporations. Like everybody has become so like not for nothing. When like I don't know how you touch on politics on your podcast, but when Donald Trump got in office, it was all business all the time. And I mean, people have been beholden to the stock market since like Reagan was president.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the 80s. And it's just been, it's everybody looks at the stock market as like the economy's good if the stock market's doing good. No, the economy's good for rich folks who own stock if the stock market's good. The economy's good for everybody else when the stock market's kind of hanging in around the same prices. But these companies need to make money for their shareholders and they end up pushing prices and padding on prices. Like there was just a news article. Man, I wish I had my sources, but I don't right now. But there was a news article just the other day where food corporations, gas corporations have been caught in company memo and on tape talking about they had their most profitable year ever. And all of that is based strictly on rising prices when people need stuff.
That's wild.
And it goes for gas and everything else like that. Every single time people make advances on, like, say, an electric car or more fuel efficiency, the gas prices go up.
They're saying sources say that it's a limited supply of the gas.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's crazy. It's really amazing to me how you could go to a different city and like if you go to a smaller city, gas is cheaper in smaller cities. So I went to, I think I was like I don't know if you guys ever been there, Christmas, Florida.
Yeah.
I went through there. Gas was like $2 and some change. And it was like, I wish I stayed here, but I can't because I'm a city girl.
And plus, Christmas is in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
What is it known for? That giant fiberglass alligator on the side of the road? Was that 520? Highway 520?
Yeah.
No.
I'm good. I don't like the country. I'm scared of the country to like live there all the time.
Be perfectly honest with you, I am too.
It's too much. I'm too much of a city girl. I've lived in the city my whole entire life, so I'll probably always be in the city. But the city is high with all the prices.
Yeah.
So I was like wondering when would the prices go down? So sources do say that because of Russia and Saudi Arabia, they have I guess because of the war, that's the reason why gas prices are so high. But dang.
See, you know what though? A lot of that is manipulated too.
Very much so.
When it comes down to it, they talk about, oh, we're going to slow production. It's like we've got too much on the market, so we have to sell it for less than what we actually want to make on it. So to bust our profit margins bigger, we're going to have to slow our production. Therefore, people are like, well, yo, I need gas. I guess I have to pay a premium for it. It's all manipulation. You look at any of these types of things, it's all a form of one manipulation or another.
And you know what? It's like they are doing it all over the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are seeing it. It's like they even making movies about it.
Yeah.
Like, have you watched Call Me Tyrone on Netflix?
Yes, I have.
Wild to me, and we talked about Call Me Tyrone in my last one. It's very wild to me that they are even putting it in the community. So they have a new movie. If you guys haven't watched it, it's number 5 on Netflix. It's called Paradise.
Okay.
And so in the movie, you can give your life up for like jail time. So the lady, she was like, she put their house up on collateral. Okay. So she gave 40 years of her life to the people where her husband was working, And I guess in this company, in this world, you can give years of your life and get money. You could give years of your life for like jail time. You could give years of your life for like collateral. And a rich person pays for the rest of your life, and that rich person gets younger and you get older. And I'm like, wow.
I mean, not for nothing, but it's kind of what they're doing right now.
And it's like, is that really happening? I be looking at these celebrities like, no, because y'all be looking kind of still young. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, is this stuff really happening? They're putting it in front of our eyes, and we are just oblivious to it. We're eating up everything. We're eating it up, and it's like we can't even do anything about it. Like the Call Me Tyrone thing, it's wild. It's in the food. It's in the hair products. It's in everything that we do, everything around us, everything that we use.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we going to do if we can't use this stuff?
Even outside of the community, it goes towards sexes. Like even there's like essentially what they call a pink tax. If you've got a deodorant from one company that's geared towards women and they have the exact same deodorant geared towards men, the women's deodorant is a smaller package and costs more because women will go for that and men will just pick whatever the hell they want off the shelf. And I mean, now that, guys are getting more into like skincare and everything else like that and, trying to stay young and look like celebrities.
Absolutely.
But it's like they're jacking up stuff too. I mean, the other day I was going to grab, replace the deodorant, get a couple of the toiletries, stock up the bathroom. And they always got that little end cap that's got everything on sale. So I'm like, I always wander by there. I was like, does anything happen to be, maybe expiring or whatever? That's my flavor. Let me take that. And there was something else over there. I was like, all right, it smells good. I'm going to grab that. And I grabbed like 2 of them. I get to the checkout. That sucker on clearance sale was like $3 more than my normal stuff. I was like, forget this. No.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I'm not like, everything is just so much more expensive.
Literally, I remember Bath and Body Works, like body sprays used to be like $6, $4.
Oof.
Unless it's a sale. Like if they have a sale, then the sales are amazing. Don't get me wrong. I stack up on the sales. Buy one, get 2 free. Yes, buy one, get 2 free. Or like Christmas time, they will have, if you're looking for a sponsor, Bath and Body Works, they have like crazy sales. Like they have sales on all their Christmas smells. But like the smell itself, like the body spray, without the sale, it's like $14.50.
Yeah, no thanks.
It's wild for me to be spending $14.50 on body spray. It's not even perfume.
No.
It's not gonna It's not gonna stay on you all day. Like yes, they have some that do stay on you all day, but 9 out of 10 Bath and Body Works users and Victoria's Secret users, it's gonna go away.
It's literally, like I just got out of the hot car and I don't want to smell like, that bag of French fries that's still on the floor in the passenger side. So I'm just, and we're good.
Exactly. So I didn't know that the days that the gas prices are cheaper are Monday through Tuesday.
Isn't that wild?
I didn't know that.
It's everybody's done traveling for the weekend.
Yeah,
and nobody wants to go to the gas station on Monday going back to work.
And before I did this podcast, I was like, I did it a week prior because I've been said I wanted to do a podcast about inflation. So I seen that question on Instagram. And so I was like, is that true? And so I was like, Monday through Tuesday, I paid attention. It is cheaper those days. And I said, okay, well, that's going to be the days I'm going to be filling up my car. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not doing the other prices.
Yeah, and what's crazy is you'll see, like, this is something that I also figured out with the apps. Where I was talking about before, like the gas stations, they have the little apps give you a little discount here and there. They don't give you the discount until Tuesday. They give you the discount like Tuesday through Friday. So like you'll get an extra 5 cents off on Tuesday through Friday. So they'll wait for you to like, they'll just be like, yo, just wait until after Tuesday when we give you the discount. And our prices go up 5-10 cents, but you're gonna get that discount of 5 cents if you wait. So you feel like you're getting a deal. Yeah. Waiting till when they tell you to do it, but it's the same thing. You're paying either the same price or more.
Exactly. But you know what? I don't know if people know, like if you have like a Sam's card or Costco's or like BJ's, if they have a gas station, a lot of times their gas is cheaper for members.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I use gas like before I had got my boyfriend. My boyfriend got a car. I had was using my mom's car. So that's why I would go put gas in the car, because
Absolutely.
who's going to go spend it, especially during the pandemic? It was like you could never barely find gas anywhere.
Mm-mm.
So let's talk about the grocery prices. That's the next little
Eggs.
fingerboard we're going to be hitting. You know what I'm saying?
In this economy, eggs, nobody has breakfast anymore.
Wild. Food prices are crazy.
Insane.
Let me tell you. So I went to the gas station. Me and my boyfriend was hungry. I was like, I don't want to get no food. My stomach was hurting. I went to the gas station, and do you know the little Debbie cakes and honey buns?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you remember back in the day when it was like 25 cents? Tell me why it's $1.25.
And they're smaller.
And they're smaller.
So you got to get 2 packs.
I was like, well, is this not something crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember you could go to the store, like, when you was a kid, and you could go to the store with your little dollar, get you, like, 2 of those or 2 bags of chips, or, like, 2 sodas and 2 Capri Suns, and you straight. Now you can't do that.
No
Kids got to have plus tax
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable. Like, trying to think, when I was growing up, I used to be able to, like, just walk down to the gas station, get yourself, like, a candy bar and a drink for, like, $1, maybe $1.50.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it was good stuff too. It wasn't just it was like the full on king size candy bars, not the little fun size ones that cost $1.50 on their own.
And I'm
now.
just like, at this point, it's crazy.
It's wild. Like, I went like while I'm out during the day, and I needed to grab something to eat. And in this economy, I'm not going to a restaurant. I'm gonna run into Publix or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just run down to the dairy aisle because, I'm looking good, feeling good. Go to the dairy aisle. That's where all the shit happens. And
yeah, it's fun time on the dairy aisle.
Absolutely. That's some good stuff right there.
That's where the fun, you can meet your soulmate on that aisle.
Yeah, you can. I just happened to look up. I was thinking, let me get something sweet. Let me get something nice. Chocolate milk. A half gallon is like $6. Those little the little cupcakes that we used to get as kids, where they come in like the little 2 packs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The 6 of those 2 packs in the box or whatever used to be like, even when you thought it was expensive, and like maybe a decade ago, and it was like $3.50, it's like $7.
Meat prices, like, literally, it's crazy. The cheapest meat that you probably could get is chicken.
Yeah.
Everything else is crazy expensive. I remember when oxtails used to be like the cheapest thing you can get. Now I told my mama I would go to the farm myself and chop off the cow tail.
Yeah.
Because is it gonna be cheap if I go chop off the cow tail myself?
Probably not. You're gonna have to pay a tax for a knife tax. It's like something.
Listen, I was like, I'm about to just go do it myself.
It's nuts. It's absolutely insane.
It's crazy. It's like,
I
what
can't
is
go
going
out
on?
to eat. Like, my favorite place, there was I live in South Palm Beach County now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking care of my parents. I used to live anywhere between Miami and West Palm Beach, like depending on the year. But so in Delray, there's this little spot that I used to love to go to, and it's a little Jamaican restaurant, and I used to be able to get as much oxtail as I wanted for like $7, and I would be a king. I would live like a king for a day with a $10 bill. And now, because everything is so expensive, you can't go in there for like under $20. And this is a little local restaurant run by a little old lady.
Yes. Every Jamaican restaurant I look up, and if you know one that ain't expensive, let me know.
Yeah, I know, for real.
Okay. Every Jamaican restaurant I look up, the oxtails place is $20 and up.
Hit us up on our social medias at Lala _. What is it? Nobody's off limits.
Yes, nobody's off limits.
And I'm at CEEJNESS, CEEJNESS. Please hit us with a message letting us know if you got any good Jamaican food, like authentic stuff, not this cheap knockoff
And even if
crap.
you are a Jamaican restaurant, you want to come on my podcast and promote your business, baby, you could come on.
But bring us a plate, and I'm coming that day.
Yes, bring us a plate. So, what do you think is the cause of all the food prices?
Greed.
Everything is greed. Everything is greed.
Like, I'm sorry, chickens didn't stop laying eggs. They didn't go on strike and stop laying eggs. All of a sudden, a dozen eggs is $9.
Well, sources say, I love what I'm with the sources say. Sources say,
Name your sauces.
Sources sad. Extreme weather and the war in Ukraine is the reason of the high food prices.
I know that for wheat, definitely.
Yes. So I didn't know that. You know what? A lot of stuff that's going on with us has a lot to do with these countries that's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad. First of all, it's really sad what's going on in Ukraine in general.
Absolutely.
And I pray for the people out there, and I pray for their families as well.
Absolutely.
Because that I don't think I could be able to do something like that. And for you guys to have to go through something like that. So for anybody who has family in Ukraine or anybody who is in Ukraine, if you hear this, probably not Lord Jesus, but anyways, it's for the family members and people who do hear this. If help in any way, try to help. They have like a whole bunch of things on GoFundMe online and stuff for Ukraine.
Find a reputable place.
Yes, and find a reputable place. Don't go online just looking for stuff crazy. Find something that's like accurate, okay? But they need help just as much as we do.
Absolutely.
Probably way more.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to remember. What we got to remember is how you were saying that everything, like a lot of the stuff on the other side of the world affects us.
Mm-hmm.
We're the biggest nation in the world by size outside of Russia, which is like Siberia, but that's like mostly uninhabitable, like snow land. It's like a planet from Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna Google it when I leave. I didn't know that.
Siberia. It's crazy. It's basically a giant ice patch that nobody can get to.
Wow.
I mean, you can get to there, and they probably got like a whole bunch of like super secret spy bases and stuff like that they keep like, you know, whatever there. There I go into conspiracy theories. That's for another episode. See that? Now you gotta have me back.
Yeah. You most definitely is gonna be back, you guys.
But yes, like everything that happens on the other side of the world, because we're the biggest consumer in the world. Like that's why China, who has more people than us, we buy more of the stuff from China. India has like 3 times as many people as we. India is like the only real country like way up in the billions or trillions. I don't even know at this point. They're just gigantic population. Like they got people stacks on stacks on stacks on top of people.
Yes.
And we outspend them on everything. We consume more oil. We consume more food. And a lot of that is, you know, just because on the food alone, people don't like the way this thing looks, so they end up not selling it. They toss it. There's an entire industry that just popped up over the last couple of years where people take the wonderful, still fresh, great tasting like produce that just happened to grow with a weird dent in it or grew in like a different kind of shape than what it's supposed to look like. And they sell that, and it's like half the price. But it's exactly the same thing. Guess what? If you're making a meal, you start cutting that thing up, you don't know what the hell shape it was in when you got it.
So, you know what's crazy? I didn't know. This is just a side note, you guys. Bar soap that they use in hotels, I seen it on TikTok. They remake them.
Yep.
They literally
It's so gross to think about that. Yeah.
People use.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't use bar soap in hotels. That's exactly why. To begin, I would like to give a special thanks to our sponsor, Peggy Locks. If you are looking for crochet passion twists, butterfly locks, she has the most reasonable prices in West Palm Beach. You can message her on Facebook at Sean Collins, SHON, and her last name is COLLINS. So, bar soap is remade. And
it's so gross.
The one that they use, that's nasty.
Man, I can't even think about using a bar of soap in like a family household.
Exactly.
Like, that's it. Last thing I need is like my dad washing his ass, and then I just jump in the shower like an hour later. First thing I do is go to my face.
If I'm using bar soap, and it literally cannot be the boys in my house. I have to use my mom's. No. That's the only woman I trust in the house.
See, like at least my family was one of the many families that are smart that use washcloths.
Yes.
You know,
Thank you.
I am so sick. Like, I did not know that it was a thing for people to wash without washcloths or like this crap. The trend that TikTok teaches me so much shit.
No, listen, I love TikTok. TikTok is like my best goddamn friend. TikTok, if you want to sponsor me,
TikTok sponsor us.
Okay.
At CEEJ on TikTok. At
Lala E_ nobody's off limits.
There you go.
Okay. If you would like to sponsor us, please sponsor us.
Yeah, just like come on, just follow me. I just want to follow.
TikTok, I love TikTok. TikTok be showing me everything.
When they started coming out with those questions of like, do you wash your legs? What the hell? Like, where did that stuff come from?
I'm sorry, but me personally, and I really don't care how nobody feel in the world. Anybody that's using scrubbers and loofahs and not using soap, using rags, you nasty. Okay, you're nasty. Use a rag, baby. Get behind there, and you gotta clean, scrub your body.
Yeah,
and now I'm into like the little scrubby rags. Once you get a scrubby rag, like a little exfoliating rag, baby, you will never go back.
They got these things. Listen, I get the ads on Instagram, all geared towards me are about like, I'm not necessarily like a freak about cleaning myself. Like I like to make sure that I'm clean. Yeah. I grew up in South Florida in dirty ass like Miami.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
Like you spend an August in Miami as a kid, right? And when we weren't always necessarily wearing shoes, running out in the street, doing all that stuff, and you come home and you're gross like that, yeah, you learn to clean up real quick.
Yeah.
But all my ads now are for like these super kind of like silicone type scrubbers that are soft. They're soft like a scrub.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they don't keep any of the bacteria on you. But they make the soap foam really good, and I'm just like, man, I gotta get me like 5 of those.
No, for real.
Yeah.
I love my little scrubby rag. I got one for my face and I got one for my body. And then I have another one that I use. The other one is not a scrubby one. That's just a regular one.
If I don't feel like I'm taking off like at least a layer of skin, I don't feel clean.
Literally. And my boyfriend be like, I keep the water so hot. And it's just like, I need to. Okay, I feel like that. If the water's not hot enough, then the dirtiness is not coming off my
And all my soaps and stuff have to be like menthol or eucalyptus, so they got to feel cold, like I'm like getting something off of me, and then I got that mint chill, so it's like just like I brushed my teeth, but like my whole body.
Have you ever used? I believe it's Dr. Mitchell.
Dr. Mitchell, no.
Yes,
it's the first I'm hearing of it.
Very amazing. I believe that's what it's called, Dr. Mitchell. My cousin has it. I used it one time, and it was like my skin just felt so. Like a lion.
Listen, you're gonna have to take a picture of it and text me.
Absolutely.
All right? Absolutely. I need some. I need some of that in my shower.
So let's get back to it. So why do you think right now that the gas, like, why do you think it's so high right now? Like, do you think it's going to like go down anytime soon?
Man, we're stuck in this cycle right now where everything is geared on the stock market and everybody is just prices. We need to make profit, because if the stock shares aren't going up and we're not making record profit every single year, no matter what goes on, people, half the country shut down and hole up in their apartment, their home, wherever, in their car, depending on what your living situation was. And the other half was out there working the dirty jobs.
Yeah.
And
some people couldn't stay home.
That didn't give a damn to anybody. Nobody gave a damn about any of that. Yeah. But the companies, they still needed to make a profit. They still needed to, and companies ended up having record profit through the pandemic, even without people going out and doing a whole bunch of things. The things that suffered were the service industries, the entertainment industries. Like, I'll tell you, as a stand-up comedian, as an entertainer, trying to get out and doing anything, like when everybody's on lockdown, you can't do anything.
So like, speaking of that, for like stand-up comedian, like, so for that, like, did you guys do it on like line, or? There was
a hot second where people were trying to do Zoom shows and everything else like that. And some of them worked, some of them didn't. It's all about timing, and like you get audience reaction, and every once in a while you'll have like a laugh over here, or half the people would have their cameras muted, and because of the time delay, you'd see like a reaction like halfway into your next joke. I mean, that was hit or miss, but we started getting creative. I mean, we do parking lot shows where we just set up a like little tarp, throw down like a shipping crate, and a little spotlight and a microphone, and we do shows out in parking lots.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I was like, I know it was hard for like comedians and people who don't like have like jobs where you work at like Walmart and Publix and stuff.
Yeah.
People who have self businesses.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was hard for you guys because
it's just it's
how can you do it?
you really can't. You had to get creative. I mean, that's why you saw an explosion of podcasts. And I mean, there's literally like thousands out there for every single topic that you're looking at.
And genuinely, I didn't know anything about podcasts too much before the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when it started popping. Podcasts became to get real big. Like I told you, I had a YouTube channel prior, and it wasn't a podcast channel. Like I was doing like pranks. That was the thing, pranks and mukbangs.
Yeah.
And TikTok, like little trends. That's what I was doing. So for me to get do the podcast, I wanted to transition into something that's more adultish, more my lane.
Yeah.
And everybody has a podcast. Everybody, literally, like so many people have a podcast. It's ridiculous.
But see what the difference is between, say, you and everybody else. Like what sets you apart is you having conversations with people about real things and an actual conversation. You're just not being, hi, okay, this is the topic for the day, and this is my question.
We're on a news station.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm not wearing a tie. I will never wear a tie.
Yeah,
well,
and
maybe,
that's why I was
whatever.
like, if you guys don't know, I just graduated from
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yes, Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
There
Both
you go.
of us, we graduated
That's
together,
right.
actually, guys. So we're into radio and broadcasting. We got a certificate in it. And I wanted to do radio. That was my thing when I first came in here. I remember telling, I think it was Eric the first day. I told Eric the first day, I was like, I want to do radio. When he talks about radio is so scripted. A lot of it is. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I thought as me doing radio, I'll be able to express my emotions, express my feelings, how I feel about stuff in the way that I want.
Well, you can. It's different though. The hard part is, as somebody who is in radio, was in radio 25 years ago, and is attempting to get back in full time. In case everybody's out there, hey, hit me up.
Hit them up.
At CEEJ in the DMs. Come on, they're all open. Just whatever, I don't care. So yeah, as somebody who was in it before and now, you can do that. You have to be good about it because everything's about money. You got advertisements. You have to hit your advertisements on the certain times. You have the legal things where you gotta say the station ID at certain times. You gotta do this at certain times. It's not so much that it's scripted. It is segmented in a way that something has to be done here and has to be done here. In between, that's your area to play with. But where you lie is what you excel at is being in a free form environment. Like this situation right here, this conversation, like you wouldn't be having this on radio.
That's what I'm saying. It's too touchy for the radio. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
and we wouldn't even have the time or the area to do it. We'd have to all right, we're gonna come back with the 2 minutes. Yeah.
For people that is coming on the podcast later on, I want you guys to be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to be able to express yourself. If you want to cuss, fuck it, cuss. You know what I'm saying? Like
fuck shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hopefully these prices do go down. But you know what's the biggest one? The biggest one for me in Florida right now?
What? Tell me.
Rent.
Yes.
Rent and inflation.
Rent drove me out of Miami.
It's wild. I looked online. Mind you, me and my boyfriend are trying to get an apartment. $1,400 for a 1-bedroom, and it wasn't even in a good area.
Yo, that's. Let me tell you something. In city of Miami, as an entertainer, somebody who lives there, works there, is part of the community, is part of the fabric of the wonderful, tapestry that is South Florida, that makes us who we are. Like, we're a wild, artistic, and creative bunch down here.
Very much.
And we express ourselves in so much a different way than anywhere else. And you can see it in all of our buildings with all the art. Just in the anything going through any city. down here.
We kind of also one of the craziest states too. I'm not gonna lie. You know,
we're
Charlemagne the God. He always says Florida. The most craziest people come from the Bronx or Florida.
It's true. It's absolutely true.
So we do got some crazy people down here, but we are also very creative.
I'll throw some Newark, New Jersey in there with the crazy people. Well. One of my best friends from Newark, New Jersey. He's a crazy comedian. He's also a Cuban, and he's got relatives down here in Miami as well. So I mean, it's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
You know what I'm saying? Connecting. These not gas prices.
But yeah, the rent prices, yeah. But as I was about to say, Hialeah, it is predominantly an older community, an older Cuban community, people who have been there for generations. Living in apartment buildings where stuff isn't rent controlled here, but going from already high prices just because of living in or adjacent to the glamour city of Miami.
Yeah.
You're talking about $1,800 a month for some of these smaller places. And within like 3 months, they raised the prices to like $2,400 a month.
Yeah, and then they'll try to con you. You hear me? These people will try to con you.
Yep.
I live in Riviera. Mm-hmm. For people who don't know, it's a very small city in West Palm Beach. I live in Riviera, and we live by the water. So our rent went up, right?
Of course.
But they so-called say that we live by like when they put it up, they was like, "Oh, you get to see an ocean view," because they sold our property. They didn't tell us we had to move, but they sold it to a new landlord before the landlord that we had. So the landlord we had, we're not going to even get to it. He's like a whole mess. Anyways, so when you put up the little property or whatever for people too who want to come in, we had people coming in and out of our house, mind you, which was like so much different landlords coming out of our house. It's like, oh, you're by the ocean front. We are nowhere near the water.
Nope.
We are literally like we are right, maybe like a street away from the water.
There's like 4 buildings in between you and the beach.
Yeah, you can't even see it, bro. And it's just like, wow. No. That's what y'all put up. But you know what? In Houston, I looked up. They had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It was $1,400. No, $1,500. Oh, I was like, oh my God, I want to go to Houston so bad.
Yeah, but see, then you gotta live in Texas.
Yeah.
No, hot. Nothing against any of our Texas listeners, but I mean, get out of Texas. What are you doing there?
I love Texas, though.
I do like parts of Texas, but it's not like it is down here. There is something completely different and special about living in South Florida. Miami, as messed up as it is, and as many problems as it has, and it's not a giant concrete swath of land like Dallas, Fort Worth, or Houston. I mean, like, we have our own little tiny slice of heaven right here. Mm-hmm. I mean, one thing that I always like to tell people that is kind of a fun fact that nobody really knows is you got to think about Florida as an island.
Yeah.
We essentially are. Like, the widest part of Florida, I think, is 180 miles or something like that, or 160 miles. Like, the furthest you are, if you were in the dead center of the widest part of Florida, you're 60 miles from the beach.
Wow.
So it's like, I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to San Antonio where I'm like...
I'm sorry, y'all. I love my friend over here, CEEJ, but I'm ready to get out of Florida. I am tired of Florida. And you know what? It's not the point I am tired of Florida. I'm tired of the people that's coming to Florida.
That's why our prices got so damn high.
You know what I'm saying? Because at first, I love Florida. I used to love Florida as a kid growing up.
Absolutely.
Now, Florida is a retiring state. Mm-hmm. It is very much a retiring state. So a lot of people, they come here because of the beach. They come here because, Florida doesn't get cold like that. It stays hot most of throughout the year. Yep. We don't have no snow. So a lot of people are retiring and coming here. And I was on TikTok a couple days ago, and a lady was saying it's like this big thing that a lot of people are canceling their trips down here because of how much everything is so much expensive down here. Yeah. And it's like, I get that y'all love Florida, but Jesus.
Old school, old thinking. Like, when Florida was first coming up, it used to be that, you know how we always have like lower wages and everything. Like if you work here, when I was growing up, like the minimum wage was like $4.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I remember when they raised it to like 725. Like there was a whole thing. Like when in the 60s and 70s, it was like, come to Florida, you'll make less, but we pay you in sunshine because of the beautiful weather and everything else like that. You may not make as much, but the lifestyle's worth it. But what ended up happening over time, especially since the pandemic, when people started finding out that, oh, we can work from home and we don't have to go into the office in these big cities that are so damn expensive, that we could do this from basically anywhere. Like you had a bunch of people from very expensive cities who made an exorbitant amount of money. Like just say example, San Francisco and New York City.
Yeah.
And they would move here because at the time it was hella cheap compared to those cities. And if you're going to be stuck in an apartment, wouldn't you rather be stuck in an apartment near the beach in South Florida?
Well, look at us now.
Yeah. And see, we got all these imports, quote unquote, from New York and San Francisco and well, basically everywhere else coming to what, like the fun and cheap state of Florida at the time. And because they're all here now, taking up not just rent, and one of the things that they did is they overpaid for available apartments and available buildings and everything else like that, which ended up raising the prices on everything else. So I mean, you got people out here in like rundown houses, like, hey man, I'll sell this property for $500,000, and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. I'll take my $500,000 and I'll go somewhere else. But they come down, they drop so much money on these places, and then you got developers all over the place seeing like, yo, there's money to be had over here. Forget putting that school in or that park over here. Let's put a 60-story condo high rise.
Yeah.
And so we're just bringing in more and more and more people, and we don't have the resources to keep maintaining it. And so with all these, first off, expensive places, and we can't build anymore, those expensive places are doubling in price already.
So I seen one of my friends. He's a real estate agent, and he told me that he sold a property. It was in Port St. Lucie, and I was looking at Port St. Lucie. Why do you think that Port St. Lucie properties are so much more cheaper than anywhere else in Florida? It seems like it's easier to buy land there than it is to buy any other city here.
Because it's like 100 miles from Miami. It's like not really that developed. I mean, like, think about it. They had to build a bridge like 10 years ago to get to like the west side of town because there's nothing over there.
Really?
Yeah. Like when they built the baseball stadium up there, I think it's like, what is it, Tradition Park? Like it was like an entirely different city. It was out of nowhere to get like spring training baseball, minor league baseball. And that was all farmland, all like, you got to remember West Palm Beach was as far north as you could go in like South Florida before like it turned into essentially South Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you get like a little blip with Orlando, and then you'd go right back into Georgia until you got to Jacksonville where it was like heavy Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all Florida-Bama up there. That's like
Florida-Bama.
Yeah.
It's crazy. My dad's wife is from Georgia.
Yeah.
A lot of my family is from Georgia. Lives in Jacksonville.
And there's nothing wrong with Georgia. I love a lot of Georgia. It's just there's certain people from Georgia. Yeah.
I went to Atlanta and I almost lost my mind. I love Atlanta, but it's like the traffic is crazy. It's crazy. But Atlanta, if you guys never been to Atlanta, Atlanta's like the Black Hollywood. I kid you not.
It's so great. It's so great.
It's so it's like it's like soon as you get into Atlanta, the style, the people, the historic around it, like it's just such a vibe to be there.
Yeah.
Like the people even like kind of cool, like they be acting like they know you how nice they be.
Like that's one of my favorite things about Atlanta. Is like
they're very homey, welcoming.
Like you feel like you actually know some of these people that you never met before in your life, and they treat you well.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn. It's like I wish I could stay here.
It's this one place called The Yard. It's a milkshake place.
Oh. You ever been to the Cookout?
Yes.
Yep. same kind of vibe, right? You know what I'm saying?
I love Atlanta. So, do you think the rent prices in Florida will ever go down? Like, I think that it's gonna take a little minute. Personally,
I do.
For it to ever happen.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta remember, like, I want to say like around like 2000 or like 2008, or something, somewhere around there, when they had that real estate bubble going on here. I had a condo that when I got it, they were like trying to get rid of it, and I got it for like right around $100,000. And they're like,
bad.
yeah, and then like 3 years later, that same place would be selling for like $450,000. But if you sold it for like $450,000, you'd have to pay $450,000 to get into something exactly like it. Wow. So it's like, why bother moving? But you'd see people doing that and whatever. And then the bubble burst, and it went back way below how much I paid for it. And it took years for it to get back up. It was people were paying so damn much. And they literally just said on the news this morning, I heard it when I heard it on my drive in, that this is the first year in, I think, the existence of Florida ever that the population declined.
Wow.
Like, so many people moved here, but so many people were just like, yo, all these people, this isn't my home anymore. Let's get the fuck out. Just like you said.
Like, I'm ready to clear it. Like, literally be gone. It's just too much. It's too much going on. It's too much. I feel like it's no way to live. I feel like the only way you can live in Florida is if you have a roommate or if you're staying with someone.
Yeah.
And as an adult and as a person who works hard, these teachers, these people who are firefighters and police officers, and all these people who work these jobs, and even nurse, like my friend's a nurse, and she said she makes ass money. And it's wild because you could go to a different state and make so much more money and be able to live by yourself.
They still believe that they could pay you in sunshine, even though it's like now the most expensive state to live in.
Yeah, and Florida's getting wild. Even the whole situation about the gun law, like the whole thing, you don't have to have a license to carry a gun. Why in the world would you do something like that?
Yeah.
With so much crazy things going on, people shooting and going in schools and churches and killing people in all these different other states, you're going to pass a law for people to carry guns without a license?
What sucks and what it comes down to is these people that are in office, they're there because we didn't vote them out.
Exactly.
And they just in there, and they're going to do whatever the hell that they want to do and keep doing it to appeal to the most extreme side of their group and hope that fuel of the extreme side just keeps putting them back in there.
Yeah.
It's like there's no sense for any sort of like talk or conversation about stuff that means something. Like, first off, getting rid of like needing a permit to carry, like to be accurate, you do still need a permit if you're going to conceal carry. And it's not an open carry. Like, Florida is not going to be an open carry like how they had in like Texas or Arizona or whatever, just like a couple years ago, where you saw a bunch of dudes walking around like militia style with like automatic weapons hanging off of their backs and stuff like that, going to the fucking ice cream store or a Subway or some shit.
Freaking Avengers.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, put more meatballs on my sub. No, that's not going to happen here. But still, just the fact that it's like, I mean, all the tragedies that we've had here in Florida alone. I mean, like, Tamir Rice, like, first off, and just, I don't know. You can. I don't even want to start the list because we'll be here forever. But the people who should not have guns, we don't stop them from getting guns, and now we're just making it so everybody can. It's just like,
exactly.
They like to go. Yeah, but don't worry, we'll keep it from. It's got to be mental health stuff. It's like, how about we not give them the gun until, maybe the mental health situation is taken care of.
And CEEJ, I literally just did a podcast about mental health and people not having a conversation with their kids at a young age about mental health. And then they grow up and become these crazy people. And I feel like because, like Charlamagne says, Florida is one of the craziest states with the craziest people. Why would you pass a law for people to do that when we already know how some of these people here are?
Oh my God, the things that we do without guns. Just give us some alcohol, and there's a lot of sun. I firmly believe that we get so much sun here that our brains like boil or bake
I
inside of our skulls.
I get frustrated throughout the day, and I don't be knowing why. I think it's just because it be hot. And me and my boyfriend was watching this. We watch animated stories on YouTube, and so we was watching a true story animated story. And it was a man in Florida. I do not remember the year. It was a long time, you guys. It was like probably in like the late 90s. A man was caught on the side in Miami. He was caught on the side of the intersection. A man was riding his bike. He was eating somebody. He was eating a man.
I mean, come on, man. That's what we do here.
Yum yum.
Zombies. Eat some faces. Get some bath salts.
Love the yummy.
It's delicious. Delicious. Just season anything right.
I just hope that the inflation goes down. I hope that the prices goes down. And if not, then I'll probably moving away from Florida.
What sucks is, well, the good thing is that it goes in cycles. Yeah. What sucks is that sometimes it takes a long ass time to get out of one of those cycles.
Yep, and COVID honestly messed up a lot of stuff for a lot of people.
It changed the world.
Because do not get me wrong, we are not the only state who are going through this problem. We might be the only state who our prices are super, super high with rent. We are Florida. First of all, Florida is one of the highest states with rent right now.
Yeah.
Which for sure. Florida, I think it was like New York, California,
Seattle.
For sure. Seattle.
The other city that I basically spend the most of my time in outside of
it's wild. Down here. The prices is ridiculous.
Gas is almost $6 a gallon in Seattle. Rent. When I told you that I spent $100,000 on a condo before, that was a 1,500 or 1,600 square foot place, 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-floor, balcony, a mile from the beach.
Wow.
In Seattle, 299 square feet. It's essentially what they call is like a studio plus one. Mm-hmm. It's essentially a bathroom with a little kitchenette off of it. A fold-up Murphy bed. To get that in Seattle, and I mean and this is up north, so air conditioning's not guaranteed. Like all those sorts of amenities and everything that we take for granted living here, they're not all guaranteed. That place right there, $425,000.
Didn't know that Paris, France, don't got AC.
Most of Europe. I mean,
maybe I don't want to go at this point.
No.
So I didn't even know that was in Seattle. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy
because I don't think I could live without central air and heat.
And a lot of places do have it, but like some of these older places up north, they just don't have it because, I mean, they never really thought.
I know a lot of buildings in New York don't have it.
Yeah,
they have like
everybody's got the window shakers.
The windows, yeah. It's bad.
When I was in Brooklyn, I had one in every single room.
Wow.
Every single window I had them. As a matter of fact, like down here now, I still have 2 window shakers that are basically brand new, and I keep them in the back of my closet. So when hurricane season hits and we're without electricity for like 2 weeks waiting on FPL to fix everything, I still got myself some AC.
FPL is crazy. We ain't gonna get into the life. First of all, they want us to pay $1,400 for us to live in a 1-bedroom. Sometimes barely have a bath or a kitchen. And on top of that, our light bill be $700, $800, $300, $400.
And that's to keep it 82 in the house.
Yes, and then and on top of that, we have to pay water.
Yeah.
Oh, and then on top of that, you got to pay mortgage for some places. It's just too much, bro. Even mortgage is high for people. People talking about their mortgage prices.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's like I gotta go. I gotta go. I got to go.
We just gotta get that bubble to burst.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on. This was great, and I really appreciate you coming. He will be back on, you guys. If you want to follow him on any of his social medias, you can tell him where to follow you.
Basically, I'm at CEEJness everywhere. CEEJNESS. Instagram, Twitter, any of the like new Twitters, TikTok, OnlyFans, whatever. I'm on all of them.
If you have Apple Podcasts, Spotify, he has a podcast called Florida Man Mysteries.
Florida Man Murders.
Florida Man Murders.
We got Florida Man Murders. I also do one with Gregor, the morning show host at 107.7 The End in Seattle, called Nerd Talk Plus. I've got like at least 3 under development right now that might be released. We're trying to bank a couple of things before we get everything
Okay.
hot and ready.
And me personally, you guys, I love the Florida man murders one. I love it. I love all that. I love to talk about murders because that's just fun to me. Like that type of stuff. I feel like really wondering, like, wow, these people really be crazy.
I love that you listen to it.
I did. I listened to it because I was like, one day I'm just tired of listening to the same music that they have playing. I was like, you know what? Let me listen to them and see. And I loved it. And it's another girl I listen to as well. She is somebody that I'm like trying to do a collab with. Cool. She's really good too. She does mystery murders as well.
Nice.
I'm like, I love you guys. Y'all have to really, in order to do that, you have to really know your stuff.
Yeah, for that I have to give a shout out to our writer Chris Joseph, who used to work for Miami New Times, and he does a lot of writing and like news and stuff like that, even some like fiction and whatever else like that. And our other friend Roger Miranda, he does all the music of the show, and we're all three of us are just like locals from down here, and we all three just have that crazy same wild sense of humor. So Florida Man Murders is a true crime comedy podcast. Yes. We are literally making fun of a lot of stuff. Never the victims.
Never the victims.
But the people who make these crimes and how stupid it is, and then the police that just could not figure this shit out.
And it just be like 2 + 2 obviously don't equal 4 for some of y'all people.
Exactly. What are you doing with that bloody knife?
Exactly.
Oh, nothing.
Like,
what? Yeah. I was cutting off oxtails.
Yeah.
It's expensive now. Haven't you seen the news?
It's crazy, guys. If you go and look at it, you'll be surprised how many police officers overlook situations and don't really pay attention to things. And it just be like, you cannot be this slow.
But see, are we really surprised?
Exactly. Florida, you guys.
100%.
Okay, it was nice. It was so nice. Thank you.
Lala, I love you so much.
Mwah. Okay, bye, guys.
See ya.
But I got you next to me. All them lonely nights, girl, I need your therapy. You got your guard up and you threw away the key. But I knocked your guard down, 'cause my love in jeopardy.